Area 51 got sued by 5 of its civilian contract workers in 1994 due to complaints that chemicals in the facility had caused a variety of injuries and even contributed to the deaths of 2 coworkers, Walter Kasza and Robert Frost. The lawsuit against the EPA and the US Air Force claimed that chemicals inside of Area 51 were handled illegally and they were seeking compensation for the injuries as well as information on the chemicals in order to be able to treat the sustained injuries. The victims stated that unknown chemicals from a stealth aircraft, the F-117A Nighthawk, were burned in open pits at Groom Lake and caused a number of illnesses when they were exposed to the burn pits downwind. Biochemists confirmed that their bodies contain abnormal levels of toxic chemicals. The government then attempted to invoke what is called the state secrets privilege, which would have prevented the court from revealing classified information about the chemicals in order to protect national security. They're allowed to do this in any civil case in the US, and judges can decide whether or not the state secrets privilege applies to the case. But that didn't matter because within a year, President Bill Clinton issued a presidential determination which exempted the Air Force from having to comply with environmental disclosure laws as well as any federal, state, and local laws regarding hazardous waste disposal in the quote Air Force's operating location near Groom Lake, Nevada. The presidential determination was renewed every year from 1995 to 2003, with even President George W. Bush signing 3 during his presidency. This forced the courts to dismiss the case since there would be no chance of obtaining any evidence or documents related to the chemicals. The victims attempted to appeal to the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, which rejected the appeal due to both the state secrets privilege and the presidential determination. The Supreme Court also denied to hear the case. But the story doesn't end there. What's interesting is that in 2005, the Air Force publicly released a document, perhaps unintentionally, detailing exactly which chemicals were being used on the Nighthawk aircraft, the same ones that they worked so hard to prevent releasing in the lawsuit. The document was related to the safe handling of the materials for first responders, and it was taken down about a month after it was released. It even lists a whole section of harmful byproducts including phosgene and hydrogen cyanide, which were used as chemical weapons in World Wars I and II. To this day, nobody has been held accountable, and continuing to pursue the case is likely futile. Perhaps there is more to the story, but this case demonstrates the length that the federal government will go to prevent the release of potentially sensitive information, as well as the enormous power that the executive branch holds.